Hey there, everybody. I hope you are doing well. I'm Afefe with Touch by Tarot and Beyond. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I do a lot of political readings. I also do some spiritual readings around spiritual growth, the new moon, the full moon. I'll be putting up something in advance of the full moon on the 21st, full moon in Capricorn we have coming up today. But I've been doing a lot of politics lately just because of what's happening. We are in an election year, and I think we have to stay plugged in and continue to get as much information that is available to us, including what we know here on earth, and always go into spirit. So got my cards in hand. How about that little Trump coronation last night, you all? 93 friggin' minutes. Historic in terms of the length of the speech. They said it when he did his acceptance speech in 2016 or 2015, I guess. No, yeah, 2016. They timed it at 74 minutes. So, he almost added a nice little chunk onto that. It was very interesting. I think a lot of people, I didn't watch the whole thing. I just couldn't stomach it. But a lot of people were interested to see this whole, in the wake of the shooting, if Trump was going to come across as more moderate in his tone, at least, if not in his rhetoric. He did, he had this sort of, especially while he was describing the shooting, and and so there was a lot of silence in the audience. You could tell they were all really leaning into him, and sort of reliving that experience with him. But then of course he went right on off into the trail of what we would expect from him. I also thought it was very telling, you all pay attention, that while this was the fourth day of their closeout event, they had speakers like Nikki Haley got up there and just blatantly lied to everybody, offering her unmitigated support. DeSantis, there were some talking heads that you expected. At the same time, that closeout event to feature Hulk Hogan of all people, with this, ripping off his shirt and showing, he's got this Trump thing on, like Hulk Hogan, major speaker on the final night, closeout night prior to opening up for Trump. Crazy. And then Dana White. Trump's fascination, even going back in the day, with he's always with boxing and Don King and all that, the whole Atlantic Casino thing. He's always had a fascination with violence and with boxing and this toxic masculinity sort of thing. But there was just no hiding it. You had Peter Navarro, fresh out of prison, clean him up, shower him off, put a new suit on him, and ship him off to the convention and put him on the stage. Like, those were the telltale signs, I think, of the fact that, confirming the fact that nothing has changed. Really, nothing has changed. And his platform is going to be the same as it always was, right? Divisiveness, hatred, shipping all the signs. Someone pointed out, what must Usha Vance must have thought as she made that her speech when she was on stage, looking out at all those signs about deport them now, like thinking about people who have immigration stories in their family history, like Vance's wife. Like, that's a whole thing that I think they're going to have to think about. But at the same time, they want to keep giving their base that red meat, and immigration, and rapists and thugs and criminals coming into this country, by the thousands, the tens of thousands, like that they know that pings their base, and they're going to keep selling that message. So, but I did want to go to, and how about, I would be remiss if I did not mention the fact that, lo and behold, Melania, probably privately kicking and screaming, made her appearance last night. She knew that, that there was just no way out of it. However, she did not let Barron appear. Right? And I get the feeling, I'm going to ask Spirit, is that a little bit of Melania's get back at Donald Trump for putting her through a lot of humiliation and embarrassment? Is Seven of Cups, I'm wondering, I'm asking, is this interplay with Barron, like that's her one stronghold where she can, the Five of Cups. Yes, she has. Okay, no, thank you, Spirit. It's actually not so much a thumbs, like a gotcha at Trump, as it is being very protective of Barron. there are a lot of theories out there, and I won't go into that today. Take our time up with that, but there's a lot of theories out there around, whether Barron might be on the spectrum, whether whatever, why is it that there's this real determination to keep him out of the public spotlight. We remember a couple of months ago, it was announced that he would be a part of the Florida delegation going to the convention, and then Melania put the brakes on that. So 5 of Cups and 7 of Cups, I think there's something more, rather than her anger toward Trump, and not allowing him to use his son's youth to draw younger voters or potentially do that. This is more her genuine protection of Barron for whatever reason. Maybe we'll get into that another time. All right. So that was that. She showed up in the brightest red suit she could find. And it was interesting, this whole red, white, and blue thing. We saw Ivanka, she shows up and she's got on her white suit. And it was just interesting when you look at the line of them across the stage. Usha, any day now, we're going to see her pop up with some false eyelashes and some curls in the hair and, showing a little more cleavage and some high heels. Watch. She's going to hang out with that crew. Watch. And J.D. Vance is not going to try to stop it. He's probably going to be the one to tell her, this is what you got to do at this point. So very, very interesting to see what's going to happen with that. But I'm going to ask Spirit, did Trump's coronation, did the closeout of the GOP convention, did that move some independent voters and undecided voters in Trump's column? Is he going to gain? Did he make some leeway? King of Pentacles. That's not him. That could be how Vance is perceived. More practical, more pragmatic, definitely a money guy. I think Vance is helping him for sure. The 6 of Wands, yeah, but a modicum, not a wave, because it would have come stronger. The 6 of Wands, yeah, a modicum of people who will go, some undecideds and independent voters who will go Trump's way based on this. And the 2 of Wands, yes, they are interested in what is perceived as a vision for the future, to rebuild wealth, to protect the borders, those issues that do ping a lot of voters. So yes, but this is not, I'm not getting major arcana. I'm not getting major shifts. I'm not getting anything that says to me in the Page of Swords, exactly. This is there's an excitement that people are coming out of the GOP convention with. There's a drum beat, there's a lot of anticipation and a lot of eagerness. So, and a lot of money. We know Elon Musk has jumped in, and some others, with crazy amounts of money that are going to be poured in. So yes, there's a freshness to it. It's been energized. The GOP has been energized, but I don't see in droves this resulting in more votes or a big wave of votes going now towards the Trump Vance ticket. All right. Okay, you all, we're going to move on now to one of the larger issues, more vital issues to the Democrats and those on the left, and that is what ultimately is going to happen with Joe Biden. I just started, was it yesterday or night? I was on with Susan Lynn, and I think it was later that night. It may have been dreams that I had. I can't remember, y'all. I just remember I woke up yesterday morning feeling like, and it felt almost like it's coming from more, when Biden got hit with this, I think it's his second bout with COVID, and I saw the images of him embarking on the plane, and then the other ones where he came off the plane, he had on the baseball cap and casual clothing. You could just see him struggling, how tired he is. Just really feel we've really got to pray for him. He is an older man, and he's to have all of this pressure and then also have his body physically fighting. It's a lot on him. But I want to look at now, is this becoming a reality? And let's also think about the anger, the disappointment that a lot of people are feeling towards some of the higher ranking Dems who have begun to question. We know there's a lot of anger towards Adam Schiff, whose seat apparently is not in danger, but who came out verbally and said some things that Pelosi, Obama, Schumer, and others have hinted at. But now we've got, Schiff came out and just outright said it. We've got Jamie Raskin coming out. These are high-ranking, really respected people. Haven't heard anything from Jim Clyburn or the Congressional Black Caucus. That remains to be seen. But I do feel this weight, and I just started feeling yesterday. Spirit was giving me, there is a shift that's taking place within Biden. Like the money's drying up. You've got all of these people who he respects, and they respect him. And that's the part that, again, as someone who was a newspaper reporter, it really irks me when I see the way that modern day, because my time was long ago, back in the 90s and early 2000s. But the way the media frames these stories has a huge impact. And so to frame these stories in the context of this huge betrayal of Joe Biden and painting it as a personal issue, I wanted to share with you. I saw a title of a New York Times, not happy with them either these days, but a New York Times article, I think it's out today, and it says, Pelosi, long fixated on winning, is in no mood to lose with Biden. It's politics, it really is. I know and I feel that and Spirit has confirmed in prior readings, and other readers, amazing readers out here doing everything possible to stay up with the current energies. So much respect to everyone out here doing the job. But there's this idea that it's this push at him to kick a man while he's down, sort of thing. And I'm not so sure. I think from people like Pelosi and even Adam Schiff, who I firmly believe would not have come out publicly without not necessarily a push on the back, go boy from Pelosi, but Pelosi was aware. People don't make these moves without her knowing about it. So I think there's this sort of reframing that we have to almost approach it not so much from a personal level, his record, his 50 years, how much he is respected, admired, and beloved, but it is about the business of winning and the risk of democracy being undone. And I think that's really what Schumer, Pelosi, Obama, Jeffries, even on a different scale, he's hanging back, Clyburn, etc. If this happens, and I'm going to ask Spirit, is Joe Biden going to step aside and put Kamala Harris at the top of the ticket? We have judgment. It's Judgment Day, right? Judgment upon us. Pluto, ruled by Pluto. Fundamental change, but change that is meant to move to the next level. Judgment is also seen as a card of second chances. I think this could be meaning in this instance, should Biden actually decide to bow out. And I am getting that feeling, you all. There's a part of me that hopes not. But when I look at personally, hopes not. When I look at it from the business end, from the political end, from what it's going to take to win, especially now with the GOP on their high horse, judgment is looking like he might be out of there. The Six of Swords, thinking about how to frame it, when to say it. And I also feel like this is a timing element. If he's going to bow out, if Joe Biden is going to bow out, you all, it's going to happen within today. I'm taping this on Friday the 19th. I'm feeling certainly, if not over the weekend, by Monday or Tuesday. That's what Spirit is giving me. So within the next, 3-4 days. Page of Pentacles, a restart. He would see it as an opportunity to give the party a restart, to give the campaign a restart that it needs, and also the financial pressure, because it's coming in Page of Pentacles. That, I think, has also, in addition to all of these other players having something to say about his candidacy, I think the donor issue, the George Clooney betrayal, but also the fact that the money has dried up. So this wasn't even just about George Clooney. This is also about big donors who have said, sorry. They said 25%, and there's the Emperor. At all costs. This is my card. I always pull this for, I don't pull this for Biden very often. I don't think I ever have, in fact, but I do pull this a lot for Trump. I think that part of Biden's decision and what he does not want, he will not see, he will do anything within his power to prevent seeing Donald Trump back in office. And the King of Wands, he sees Vance as the mini-me. So he's looking at the two of them together, Vance and Trump. That is weighing very heavily on them. He is and the world, yes. He's thinking big picture, America standing in the world, not just the election. Biden is truly making his decision and considering based on everything, not just his own personal legacy, although he is hurting. His ego has taken a hit, and this is very personal for him, but he's also making this decision based on the larger issues at play and what is in America's best interest. I also see this as completion, you all, right? The world can often signal done, an end of a cycle, an end of an era, an end, a completion. So I am going to go ahead and call it and say I think that Joe Biden may in fact be stepping down, and will Kamala Harris be at the top of the ticket? Spirit, will Kamala Harris be at the top of the ticket? Will she move to the top of the ticket? Now the High Priestess. That's still in discussion, because it's not just, and that's another reason why Joe Biden is really taking his time deciding what to do, because the question becomes not just is he a liability, but is Kamala Harris the best asset? And so the High Priestess would indicate that there are still things, this is being looked into, it's being studied, the data is being studied, the idea of also who would be her running mate to advance the likelihood of the Dems winning. And we have the Six of Cups. Yeah. Because of her loyalty, because she has done a good job, because she was handicapped a lot especially in the beginning of the administration, and we didn't hear a lot from her. We didn't see much of her. There were many reasons behind closed doors that probably we'll never know, but certainly in the last year plus, Kamala has come on strong. So I think the Six of Cups is indicating, because of her history with him, she is a known quantity. He knows what she's capable of. They have had some conversations, even recently, very recently, about all of this. Queen of Cups, Jill, is very important in his decision making right now. Jill Biden, what is she saying, Spirit? King of Swords, that's Hunter as well. He's been having some deep conversations with Jill and Hunter. And the Three of Wands, the three of them, Jill, Hunter, and Joe Biden, definitely huddled very, very closely together. And also this is his, if I understand correctly, he has like 3 old-time advisors. People have been with him for years and years. They're all older as well, in their 60s and 70s. There's been some criticism around that as well, in terms of, has that hampered or hindered him more than keeping him, fresh and prepared to move into this next phase of his career. So he sort of stayed. They're saying that these older advisors have kept Biden sort of stuck in the past and just keep doing what you've always done. Not recognizing that these are very different times we're in right now. At the Ace of Wands, it'll be Kamala. Once all of this is said and done, you all, it will be Kamala Harris. The question with that High Priestess is the decision around who best to pair her with to ensure or best ensure a win in November. All right, and let's see what else we got. Finally, I did want to touch on something. We got to think about this whole softening, quote unquote, of stances and unity, and even, Trump on stage last night, I will be the president of all the people, not half the people. But these laws that are going into effect in certain states, and now there was a federal court that ruled against, in Tennessee, there was a drag group that brought a lawsuit because of the ban on being able to perform drag in certain public spaces. Now, of course, This is in effect, I believe, in Texas, Montana, and in Tennessee. DeSantis tried to pass the law, but it got blocked at the Supreme Court, state Supreme Court. He called it the Protection of Children Act, DeSantis did. The idea is, the argument that the right wing is making, and the Christian nationalists are making, is that it's exposing minor children to the LGBTQ lifestyle, and in particular trans and or drag. And so the drag community has banded together and said, listen, this is about freedom of expression. This is not about, indoctrinating kids into anything. This is who we are, and we have a right to express ourselves. And so they took it to court. Federal court struck it down. The case in Tennessee has been struck down. It was brought by this group called the Friends of George. So it's been struck down, and now we'll see what comes next. But my first thought, you all, was, if that's the case, then it's not just about, they're not going after just drag shows. Think about the movement, the pride movement throughout the United States of America, and how, and especially like during, I think it's June is Pride Month. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I try to be a good ally. But the idea that then this would prohibit, and perhaps because we're talking about any place where drag could be seen in public. So that's not just drag performers and stage and theater and that sort of thing. This, would even, trickle down to LGBTQ pride, events. So I want to see, here's my thinking. Will that contingent of people come out and be a part of the surrogate movement with the Democrats heading into the election? Because this is a hot topic right now, you all. LGBTQ rights in general. And here's what's very interesting. This is going to be a tightrope for the GOP. Because remember, Melania is in like this with the log cabin Republicans. Now, the extent to which the log cabin Republicans are out here in drag and doing their shows or whatever, I don't know. I'm not really involved, or I don't keep up with them. But I do know that she is very tight with the log cabin Republicans, which is one reason that some are saying, and Spirit has said, that's one reason why you haven't heard a lot around gay marriage with Trump. You've heard a lot around abortion and, keeping the Christian nationalists happy around that topic. And even that, he's begun to, figure out, how do I get more moderates to buy into this? So that languaging and messaging around that is in flux right now. But you haven't heard a lot around gay marriage. And I think that also has to do because, again, Melania is in tight with these log cabin Republicans, right? It's going to be interesting to see how that works out. But I'm asking Spirit, will the Democratic Party band together with and really get some prominent surrogates from the LGBTQ community, trans community, etc., to come out and work with them towards the campaign? This is the moon. There's not enough yet that's been highlighted about it. But it is on the back burner, and it is an issue that needs to come to light, and it is an issue that is gaining steam. And there's the Emperor. They don't want to give the GOP side any fodder or any more fodder to try and lodge issues towards middle of the road voters who could vote Democratic. They're trying to be really careful about that. Page of Pentacles comes up again. I'll show that a little bit more. And by the way, for someone I just felt this was such an appropriate deck to use today, I'm using the Tarot of Curious Creatures. All right, in case anyone's interested. There's a leadership, Queen of Swords. Yes, someone, it could be Lady Gaga. This feels more like a celebrity to me. This is and someone who would speak out on behalf of the trans and LGBTQ community, and I think LGBTQIA is now the acronym. Again, I'm trying to keep up with it. You all be patient with me. So yes, I do think this is going to be a topic. We're going to hear more. It may not be that they are Page of Wands. Yes, that's young people. That's people wanting to be heard. That's she's even got a semi a colorful flag there behind her. Yes, I think this is an opportunity, and I think Spirit is saying there will be people who in positions of leadership, especially in the wake of these lawsuits and this recent decision from the federal appeals court that knocked this down and did not give Friends of George this opportunity. I think they will be either invited to the convention. Whew, I don't know where that just came from. Will we have a representative from that group at the convention? Four of Cups hasn't been decided yet, or the Sun, but we got the Sun. Don't be surprised, you all. The lineup at the Democratic Convention in August in Chicago is going to be fascinating. Fascinating. Especially if we have shaken up the ticket and we have a Kamala Harris slash question mark at as the nominees. That's going to be, that whole lineup is going to be amazing. It's going to be fascinating, and I can't wait to see it. All right, you all. I wanted to keep this relatively short. Stay safe out there. Remember, chin up, shoulders back, and we got to breathe deep, right? We're going to be okay. We're going to make it through this. All right, you all? Take good care. I'm going to get back on here either later today or tomorrow with the full moon pick a card, a full moon in Capricorn pick a card reading for you all as well. If you're interested in booking a reading with me, I'll put a link to my website down below. And otherwise, I'll check in with you real soon. Take care. Bye.